Thank you for having me today. Thank you, Boston, for organizing this session. And so I'm going to show you my way to treat by DES SFA lesion. So everybody knows here this algorithm. And so in this algorithm, we should treat lesion inferior to 4 centimeters using POBA. And for longer lesion, DCB is the first line of treatment. But so far, we have no evidence-based medicine to say that DCB should be the first line of treatment to treat femoropopetal lesion. Why? First, everybody knows here the instant restenosis or the restenosis mechanism. We have, of course, intimal hyperplasia, but also we have recoil and constructive remodeling. We can explain also the restenosis mechanism. And we know that in case of lack of scaffolding, the consequence could be dramatic. So be careful in case of lack of scaffolding. In this example published in 2012, it is a case of a patient. He gets suboptimal recognition. You can see here the recognition occluded 3 months after the procedure. And we see clearly in the red dot the subintimal channel completely collapse at 3 months due to the lack of scaffolding. Also, we should keep in mind that in SFA is not just about calcification. We have in 65% of the cases bone into SFA. And so, because we have bone, we need a good scaffolding to keep open the vessel. Finally, about the mechanism of restenosis, of course, intimal hyperplasia has huge importance to explain the restenosis, but at the difference of coronary artery, where the plateau is obtained after 6 months, here you can see the plateau of intimal hyperplasia, and we can see here that for SFA it's up to 24 months. So we should have devices able to release the drug during a long period. If you see the DCB randomized clinical trial results, the results are pretty impressive for all the study. The lesions are comparable to the other BMS, for example, study or DES study in terms of length. It's between 6 and 9 centimeters of length. But for all this study, we have some limits, and the limits are the inclusion and exclusion criteria. In this paper published in 2017 of Schroeder, he states that finally patients were selected using strict inclusion and exclusion criteria. Therefore, generalizability of this data to real-world cases may be limited. If you look at the main exclusion criteria, we can see that they exclude stenosis longer than 18 centimeters, occlusion longer than 10 centimeters, severe calcification, and also in case of failure of vessel preparation, they exclude the patient. So we don't know the results for this patient. Also in this study, it's a real-world setting study. It's not 6 centimeter or 8 centimeter length. It's about 14 or 17 lesion length, and the total occlusion rate is around 40%. So it's completely different from randomized clinical trial. Coming back to the randomized clinical trial about DEB, we can see that the biload stenting is low. It's close to 2.5% in level 2, for example, study. But in all these studies, they perform a translation gradient to assess if they have to perform bailout stenting. It's not the case in a routine practice, and if you take a look about the DCB global registry, it's a 10-fold increase about provisional stenting, up to 25% in real life. And so, consequently, it means that in 25% of the cases after DCB, you add a BMS. So it increases a lot the cost of the procedure for the government, for example. What we know about DS. First, the LIMUS, so everolimus and sirolimus study failed to show an advantage to DES in comparison to DMS. And so the main study, the main efficacy about BMS is related to paclitaxel effect. The Majestic registry, small registry, single-arm study, 57 patients, with impressive results at 2 years, less than 10% of TLR. And we know also, and the main study is still the Silver-PTX study, because it's a randomized study comparing Silver-PTX versus POBA, and so far we have 5 years data. And clearly it shows a superiority of DS versus POBA. The main drawback of this study is that we can't draw any conclusion from the second arm of randomization because the study has not been designed to assess the second arm. And so forget this comparison between DMS, BMS, and DES in the Silver-PTX study. Another point, interesting point about this study is the difference between primary stenting using DES and provisional stenting using BMS or DES, and it seems that primary stenting works better in comparison to provisional stenting. Perhaps the main drawback of stenting for SFA is fracture, stent fracture. And we know from this old study from China, published in 2004, using old generation of stent, there is a huge advantage in favor of no fracture group versus fracture group in terms of primary patency. But take a look at this, Vienna study, using absolute. The stent fracture rate is 2%, and the in-stent restenosis rate is 37%. Now take a look to FAST. Is 12% of fracture rate, 6-fold increase, but only 32% of in-stent restenosis. So it doesn't seem to have a correlation between stent fracture and in-stent restenosis. Moreover, we published an author several years ago, a study comparing fracture versus non-fracture group using a new generation of stent, and we didn't see any correlation between fracture and clinical impact, hemodynamic impact, or morphological impact in this SFS study. So far, we have no clinical evidence. We have some data, but we have no head-to-head comparison, like you said previously. And so we have no clinical data to support algorithm to choose the right device to treat the right lesion. So we expect evidence. And for example, the first study comparing paclitaxel-eluting stent versus BMS is a battle study. It is a French multicentric randomized trial comparing Misago versus Silver-PTX, and the 6-month outcome of battle study will be released next Tuesday at CIRSE. The next study is the Imperial study. It is a randomized trial comparing Eluvia stent, DS, versus Silver-PTX to treat femoral-popliteal lesion. The enrollment is completed of this study, and the results will be expected in 2018. The next study is the Eminent trial. It's also a randomized clinical trial. In this case, it is a comparison between Eluvia stent and BMS, and this result is enrolling. Thank you for your attention.